Sure.
And we're back and finished with just an annoying conversation with TJ McDonald. Don't worry, he will not be on this episode of this week's releases, God willing. But unfortunately, neither will.
Just turn it off, guys. Just turn it off.
Unfortunately, now it's not cool anymore. Unfortunately, though, Mara is not here, so we are a little uglier than usual.
You want me to be Mara? Oh, I love mankind.
Yeah. Try the PG version.
Sailor Moon is the best.
All right there. Stepping on some toes. But
guys, turn it back on. TJ left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we really gotta stay focused here, guys. So, Brian, will you go to the Independence?
Yep, we're doing the Independence me style. So we're gonna talk about BPRD. Haha, hell on earth.
This is weird.
Bad things are happening in New York, and the BPRD are there to try and stop them. Although, it's probably not gonna happen. There's a bunch of bad things happening. Next up, we got Stray Bullets Killers #2, continuation of the new Stray Bullets book. It's all about crime. Virginia Applejack, is that the last name? Yeah, is back, and I'm sure Amy Wraithcar will be showing up pretty soon. So that's pretty awesome. Next up, if you're like, this is not adult enough for me, I want some more porn type stuff. You got Sex Criminals Volume 1, reprinting the first 5 issues. And you guys should have all read it at this point, but if you haven't, here it is for $9.99. Buy it.
No letters page, though. No letters page.
No letters page, but, you should have bought the comics.
Yep. Sorry to cut you off there, but I can't remember. Oh, cool. I can't remember whether or not the oversized hardcover of Hawkeye, letters pages aren't in that.
No, usually they don't put letters pages in them.
That's a bummer.
Although they did in the Uncanny Omnibus, all the letters pages.
Yeah, I saw that, like in my Fantastic Four Omnibus, they're in there too. I saw where Marvel is doing, I can't remember which comic it is, I think it might be Secret Avenger or something random. The letters pages, you have to go online and look it up. I'm like...
I know Astro City does that. They print one letter of the month or whatever, and then they do a website where all the other letters are on there, because they can't afford...
Yeah. But Marvel can afford. I don't know,
Well,
it seems bizarre.
You'd have to give up pages of stories.
I guess so. I don't know. It feels weird, because it feels like Marvel is probably going to do a one-page announcement of saying, hey, this exclusive letters page is online. When you could have just said, well, why don't you use the page that advertises letters?
How many Marvel comics right now have letters pages anyway?
I don't know, quite a few though, right?
I don't think so.
I guess
I bet Amazing X-Men doesn't, the first one on your stack. I think Spider-Man does.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I guess I haven't noticed. Maybe it's just the bigger books.
I think it depends on the editors and stuff.
Yeah.
I think most of Wacker's books had them.
Because Nova has
Is
it.
Nova? I don't know.
No, never mind.
Hawkeye and Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, I bet they all do. But see, those are all Wacker books. Or they used to be.
Never. You know what? I don't know. There were letters pages in that comic at one point, but...
I mean, what's the point of them anymore? The internet is so... Just go on Kelly Sue's Tumblr and ask her questions while I write a letter.
Yeah, I know. I guess so. But, oh well. Alright, so I guess we can transition right into DC.
Alright, so I hope you guys like Batman, because DC is all about Batman this week. Well, I got 3 Batman books, I'm not talking about anything else. So, we got Batman 30, which is the beginning of the final arc of Zero Hour, or Zero Year, finally.
Not that it was bad.
No, but it's been long, and this is a crazy story.
Yeah.
Gotham's all in tatters. Looks like some sort of zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I Am Legend stuff.
Yeah. Then next up, we got Batman and Wonder Woman. Batman continues to search for Damian's body that Ra's al Ghul is running around with, trying to reanimate him. So I'm sure that'll be lots of fun.
Who's he gonna hang out with next?
Frankenstein is next.
That's so cool.
Yep. And then we got Batman Eternal #2, continuing the Batman weekly series. This is actually pretty good. Bad things are happening to James Gordon.
Yeah.
That's about as far as we're getting so far. None of the other characters like Bluebird and all that stuff that was in Batman 28. But
Stephanie Brown's next week. At least at least it's been teased. I hope it's not just a one panel.
I bet it is one panel. Yeah. Like number 4 will be all her.
Yeah, but oh well. I mean, we've been teased with Stephanie Brown already, so hopefully we'll get more.
And then last up, we got a Vertigo book, American Vampire, second cycle, volume or number 2. Just kind of dealing with what they set up in the first one, where Pearl is like the Underground Railroad for vampires right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Underground Railroad.
Good. Sure.
Undead Railroad.
That's all I got for DC.
Excellent. So, a lot of good stuff coming from Marvel. First up is Miss Marvel number 3. Pretty solid book. I'm ready for a little action to start happening. Characters have been set up. So now it feels like it's going to be time for some actual... I kind of see what she does, a little bit more. I like how she's
making her hand big.
Yeah, I mean, I like that she's got crazy. I can alter my body in weird ways, powers, but I kind of want to see the extent of that. So hopefully that's covered in that comic. We got some Wade and Bagley on Hulk. Is this just Hulk? Hulk number 1.
Just Hulk.
Yeah. So
he is no longer indestructible.
I guess not.
He got shot in the face in the last issue.
So someone has shot Bruce Banner. We gotta find out who it is. So should be good. Bagley art looks as good as it has been. So
yeah,
cool. We have got some X-Men stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I am behind on Uncanny. Unfortunately, I am coming up on All New and everything like that. But Uncanny, for whatever reason, I think it was 2 issues ago. I don't know who the artist was, but it didn't gel with me. And every once in a while, art.
Oh, Marco Rudy did one, didn't
maybe.
he? I think it was.
Yeah.
That's the one that everybody's crying about.
Yeah, I just not crying. The
internet is crying.
I don't know. It kind of knocks me off a little bit. It's not this guy. This is Bachelot. Yeah, which he's solid. But if a comic can throw me off, it might take a month or so before I can hop back on. But it was like the issues where Magic was in hell with was it Dormammu? Mm-hmm. I just didn't like the art style, and it's just it's different, and I not that different's bad, but I don't know.
Well, Matt, in these issues, it's Scott versus Shield, dude. They're trying to figure out where all those Sentinels are coming from.
I know.
You get some Dazzler action in there too, and Blob.
Real Dazzler action.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a panel. Okay. But you get Blob, dude.
Well, that's good. I like Blob a lot. And it's good to know that Blob is back. And speaking of art, I'm sorry, we don't like to be a crap cast, but I was kind of looking forward to Ultimate FF because the cover looks sweet, and the team looks sweet, and the concept looks sweet. And I'm sure the story is still going to be sweet. I like Fialkov a lot, but the art just, I'm sorry, it's Mario Guevara.
Wow, even just calling him out, dude.
I don't know exactly what it says. But, I don't know, guys.
The art looks pretty bad. I haven't actually
rough.
read it yet, so
it's rough.
I'll have to see if the story can override it, but...
I hope so, because I can't imagine that guy being on there consistently. Unless...
continue crapping. I mean, if you draw that crappily, you're probably pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess so. But hopefully the editors are like, you know what, this is bad. You gotta go. I don't know. I hope comic fans, and usually I think the people that read Ultimate Comics are a little less forgiving. Meaning, the average comic reader just pulls something off the shelf and looks at it. They may not, stink up at art. Like if something is poorly written, people will talk about it. But for whatever reason, I feel like people like to kind of back away if someone doesn't really or isn't up to snuff when it comes to art. So hopefully, the vocal minority on the internet can maybe have some kind of influence.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I hope that people don't just look at this art and say, oh, okay, whatever. I hope they kind of like vote with their money and say, you know what? No, this is the reason why this is bad.
So what you're telling people is to not buy Ultimate Fantastic Four? Actually, it's Ultimate FF because they're not.
Until we read the story. Yeah, that's what I'm telling them. Yeah, on first glance, I'm buying it for the story, but after that, if the story is subpar or decent, I will stop picking this up, mostly because it takes a little bit more for me to get into a story. We got The Last Days of Midgard, popping up with Hulk and his new Thor and his new Shield girlfriend. What's her name? I keep on forgetting.
Solomon, Agent Solomon. I don't know what her first name is.
She's like an environmental Shield agent, which is cool. And we got Galactus tearing up old Thor's
the
world.
fight with Galactus is awesome.
Okay, so I mean, there's some stuff, and Assad Ribic is a great artist. That is true. His last name does sound like a frog.
Theoretically, I assume that's how it's pronounced. Ribic.
Ribic, yeah, Thor frog. Got some more Beta Ray Bill, Jerry Duggan Nova action. A consistent book, still good. Not going to talk too much about it because we are in a little bit of a rush. Jumping though into Amazing X-Men. What do you think? Did you dig Nightcrawler's single issue?
Oh yeah, Nightcrawler more than I liked it. It's very classic X-Men, but it was enjoyable. What did you think of it?
It was okay. I mean, it definitely felt like Claremont writing it. The narration boxes, those are things that aren't really there anymore, and Claremont still uses those.
What are you talking about?
Like,
they're all over the place.
Yeah, I know, in his issue. But
look at Nova, dude. I bet that half this book is freaking narration. Alright, maybe not. But isn't Sam always telling us the story? Whatever. But it's still...
I'm just saying, Claremont... Alright, yeah, I know, I see that.
Okay.
But,
I'm just saying, I don't think it was much... I don't think I mean, that's just one of those stereotypical Claremont complaints that tends to not be true.
I just... Sorry. But, it was stuff that I think could have been...
I was more like, it was like, here's a fight in the danger room, and then here's a bunch of character stuff, and then a robot shows up. And I was like, okay, that's pretty X-Men-y.
Do you feel like, Claremont's really fun and passionate about this?
I mean, he's passionate about Nightcrawler and Wolverine, sure.
Yeah. I mean, enough to come back and write the comic.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm curious to see where it goes. I like, the Excalibur stuff. The reference to that, and Rachel Gray.
And all of Excalibur does show up in this Amazing X-Men.
Well, then there you go. That sounds amazing. And Cameron Stewart and Jason Aaron are tagging up on this one.
Jason Aaron's last issue. And who do we have writing it? Is the Eminence? Catherine Eminence is writing the next one because it's Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. But then it's Craig Kyle and Christopher Yost are the new.
Okay. They're good.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty solid. They like Marvel-y things. But that's it for
Thor 2.
Yeah. Did they write Thor 2? I think they're writing Thor 3. I don't know if they wrote Thor 2.
I think they wrote Thor 2 and they're writing Thor 3.
I know Christopher Yost adapted most of those Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero cartoon episodes.
Yeah. I think Craig Kyle was the executive producer on that one.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of the TV stuff.
Right. And they're a good solid team, so I expect that it'll be good. So.
Sure.
Cool. Well, let's get into picks of the week.
All right.
I'll go first.
All right.
Not surprisingly, if you were looking for this comic and wondering why we weren't talking about it, well, obviously it's going to be one of our pick of the weeks. Superior Spider-Man series finale, and depending on, and you said it's awesome.
It was really good, yeah.
If it can stick the landing, then I think Superior Spider-Man for me has been a solid run. I mean, there's parts where it drug its feet a little bit. We had to deal with God, what's her name? Doc Ock's old girlfriend from the 90s.
Stunner.
Yeah, we had to deal with stuff like that, and there's the Venom stuff that you're like, is this really necessary? But
well, you know the story of the Venom stuff now, right?
What's that?
That story that they're gonna do Spider-Verse or whatever, Spideyverse. That was gonna be that story, and they were like, dude, you can't do every Spider-Man in the universe in the multiverse without doing it. That's a Peter Parker story.
Yeah.
So he had to come up with a Venom story to fill that
spot. Okay. Yeah.
So,
But like I said, I mean, there's some stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we all knew it. We all knew that Peter would be back in time for the movie, and it was right on the money. It was, no tiptoeing around that. Amazing. I think Amazing Spider-Man #1 comes out literally the week of the movie, if not close. But still, I'm excited about it. Peter had to come back, and he is back. If you read issue 30. Sorry, that's a spoiler, but you've had 2 weeks.
That's right.
No, I'm excited to see how this is wrapped up. I'm interested to find out more about the goblins, actually. So it goes beyond just the fact that Peter's back.
We do find out who the Green Goblin is.
Excellent. And I'm not a huge Spidey 2099 fan, but does he show up in this?
He's in it quite a bit.
Great.
There's an awesome joke about Alchemax.
Mm.
It has to do with who the Green Goblin is, so you probably don't want to keep reading.
Okay, never mind. Alright, well, what's your pick of the week?
Mine is going to be X-Men 13. This is Brian Wood's run. It seems like just the redheaded stepchild of the X-Men books. Like, everybody's all like, oh, I'm not reading that anymore.
No, I think it's still X-Force.
No, I mean of the X-Men.
Oh,
like
okay,
real
okay,
X. I mean,
okay.
It's not, Uncanny, all new,
okay.
amazing. Those are the big ones. And this one seems to be the little one. But it's excellent. This issue, Shogo's father shows up, and he, unsurprisingly, is not a nice guy. So some bad things start happening.
Well, see, like Rogue, my biggest reason why I dropped off of that was Rogue and Kitty are kind of gone from it.
Rogue and Kitty are gone, but you got Monet.
Yeah, see, it's not enough for me.
All right. I mean, this issue's almost all. I mean, the rest of the girls are there, but it's mainly, obviously, a Jubilee story.
Is this a good jumping on point?
Yeah, this is the beginning of a new arc.
Okay, well, I'll check it out.
Mm-hmm. Shoot them all though. The last story was really good too, with the sisterhood.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever, fine. Screw you. Don't worry about it, okay?
No, don't worry. I'm excited about
Go read your Ultimate FF.
I will. Did you pick that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting all the Ultimate books. So.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like the weakest one though.
Do you have all the Ultimate books?
No.
No. You don't have like treasure troves of Ultimate Vision.
I do have Ultimate Vision.
And didn't Romita do like an issue of Ultimate Vision? Am I crazy?
No, I think it was Brandon Peterson that did that whole bit, but it might have been. I don't know.
And Hickman wrote Ultimate Hawkeye, right?
He did Ultimate Hawkeye. He did Ultimates for a while too.
Okay, crazy. Right on. Now we're just kind of randomly talking about comics, which is kind of the point of watching this.
Mara's not here to edit us or anything.
Exactly.
So we just do whatever we want.
Yeah, tap me on the shoe whenever I'm rambling. But Brian, where can the kids buy their comics?
We are, as always, at Conway Comics, 255 Ferris Road, right behind good old UCA.
Amen. And, keep in mind, once again, we mentioned this before, I haven't in a while, trades are 25% off. So if they come in,
always 25% off.
And they want sex criminals,
$7.50, baby.
That's a deal.
And if you come in last week, you would have got everything for 50% off.
Oh my God.
We were having a sale.
Oh my God.
Follow us on Facebook if you want to know about that stuff.
There you go, guys. Conway Comics. Excellent. Well, from nerdspan.com, I'm Matt Wood.
And I'm Brian Keown.
And we will see you next week. Did you see at the end of last week's episode when you went doop doop doop?
Did you leave it in there?
Yeah, I couldn't edit it out because you didn't wait before.
Nice.
Yeah. Good night.
I like it. Well, doop 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 doop.